5:42, coming to you live from the elliptical. I'm 38 minutes, 20 seconds into my workout, level 10. Take a moment to express my gratitude for the birds. Woke me again, 4:45. You know, it's a beautiful song they sing. Sounds sort of like a pew, 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 pew. You know, no better way to be brought into the day than that sound ringing in your ears, so thanks for that. A lot of you were upset that I didn't make a video yesterday, and I understand that, but all I have to say is that on the 7th day, even God rested, and yesterday was my 15th day. Everyone needs to recover, and by the way, it's score 1 Melanie, 0 God. But you got to do what works for you. Phil does a 4 on, 1 off. I do a 14 on, 1 off. God liked to do a 6 on, 1 off. Find what works for you. I spent the day yesterday with Phil, actually. We went to the woods together. We did trust exercises, talked about goals. Phil, his head is back in a good place. He's back on track, back in the game. He appreciates your support. He had a really draining day yesterday. I let him sleep in a little. He's, 6 a.m., that alarm goes off. It's a wind sprints for the next 90 to 120 minutes, but, I'll give him till then. Went with the Jay-Z Magna Carta windbreaker, even though I'm inside. And that is for obvious reasons. I want to show a little support for my boy, Chico, during these trying times. You might also notice I have my collar up. I do that because it looks cool. You could do the same thing with any collared shirt or jacket you own. The truth is I'm actually very hot. I'm going to take this off. I've made my point. I also went today with the all black everything. And that is because when I support you 120%. It's the morning of Jig. It's all about him this morning. On that theme, I've also gone with a classic, old school, old skizzy, Izzo. It's a good one. Well, somehow I'll beat them charges like Rocky. And metaphorically speaking, Jay-Z he does beat the charges. But it doesn't mean this isn't a trying time. And I've been really struggling with it, I'm not going to lie. And I don't like to exaggerate. I'm not, I wouldn't say Jay-Z and Beyonce are my closest friends, but probably goes Angela Merkel, Eckhart Tolle, Jay-Z, Beyonce. And for that reason, a lot of what I know I can't say. I know it in confidence. I've been told it in confidence. But I will say that they're a good family. Solange, that's how you say it, Solange. Is a really good person. She's just someone who's consumed with rage, and who wouldn't be growing up in that shadow? Beyonce is basically the embodiment of human perfection. I just feel so grateful that my own sister didn't have those issues, which she easily could have. Thankfully she's confident. She's in touch with her own power as a woman. She's a truly incredible person herself. So I'm just grateful for that. I've been thinking about Solange, though, and these issues she has, and rage in general. How it can tear a life apart. Think about Monet. Great example. This is a really rageful guy. He couldn't even hold the brush. Just doing a lot of this on the canvas. Really dark material, dark themes all over his work. And, thinking about these rageful people and how they could turn it around, I wanted to talk a little bit about anger and, what you can do with your anger. How you can combat your own anger. And Solange, I hope you're listening. The first and most obvious example. Why don't you cut gluten out of your diet? It's, poison. I think we all know that. I recently read that there's a direct link between gluten and the part of your brain that gets in touch with your anger, that accesses your anger. I read that in a text message. Someone sent it to me from the acupuncturist office. I just read it in an alternative health magazine, and it's powerful research. You can't dispute the research. And the truth is there's an alternative for everything now. There's gluten-free hummus, gluten-free yogurt, gluten-free watermelon. I see this stuff all over the supermarkets. So kick the gluten, kick the rage. Second, I'm pretty sure you all know where I'm going with this. There's nothing you need to say that you can't say with an emoticon. There's a great one. It's not really someone punching someone. I think it's supposed to be more of a fist bump. But if you do that one followed by one of the faces, a lot of really culturally sensitive faces, you know, there's Russian, I think, with one of those hats. I think it's not a babushka, but it's something. And there's not an African American, but Solange could just pick, you know, the police officer. I think Jay-Z would get that. It was supposed to be ironic. He would be the police officer. And, you know, do one of these, police officer. She would get it off her chest. He would get the message. No one would be hurt. So you use an emoticon, always. Third, I think, you know, and call me crazy, you know, I think people should be talking more. Communicate. Use I feel statements. What if Solange had just gone to Jay-Z and said, you know, when you go to the club without Beyonce, it makes me feel like this marriage is a sham. Or when you don't promote my album, it makes me feel like you don't respect me as a musician. You know, or to Beyonce, she could have said, you know, Queen Bey, I'm sure that's what she calls her. When you are better at acting, singing, dancing, looking beautiful and everything than I am, it makes me feel like I'm not as good as you. And, you know, what a catharsis that would have been for her. So, you know, fourth, most important, stave off the hunger, stave off the rage. The best way to do that is to eat protein all day.